Sienna God, hello all. Afternoon, good afternoon, Water. Thank you for watching. This is day 5 of reading, part A, day 5, part A of reading Hollywood Babylon by Kenneth Angers. And if you want to pick one up, it looks just like that. The birthday party on board is said to have been great fun up to a point. Beyond that point, the Oneida sailed straight into a fog bank of conflicting stories. The quote-unquote official version, as released by Hearst House, couldn't be more simple. Poor Tom Ince glutted himself with rich Hearstian hospitality at his Scorpio birthday party and died of acute indigestion. What? The first story to appear in the Hearst papers was a preposterous fake. Special car rushes stricken man home from ranch. End quotes. Ince with his wife, Nell. Ince with his wife, Nell, and his 2 young sons had been visiting William Randolph Hearst at his upstate ranch for several days previous to the attack. When the illness came upon him suddenly, the film magnate, stricken unconscious, was removed to a special car attended by 2 specialists and 3 nurses and hurried back to his Canyon home. His wife and sons and his brothers Ralph and John were at his bedside when the end came. End quote. This says Eileen Pringle. So it's A-I-L-E-E-N, Pringle, mute witness. Unfortunately for Hearst, witnesses had seen Ince board the yacht at San Diego. Even more regrettable, Kono, K-O-N-O, Chaplin's secretary, saw a bullet hole in Ince's head as he was carried off the Oneida. Acute indigestion. Hearst kept a diamond-studded revolver aboard the yacht for purposes of a singular entertainment, considering that he was publicly known as an anti-vivisectionist. What is that? V-I-V-I-S-E-C-T-I-O-N-I-S-T. Vivisectionist. I have to look that up. As John Tebble relates, Hearst was an expert shot. In quotes, it amused him to surprise guests on the Oneida by knocking down a seagull with a quick hip shot. Well, that's not nice. Hearst was also uncommonly jealous of other men's attentions to Marion. Detectives had kept him informed of her dalliance, D-A-L-L-I-A-N-C-E, with Chaplin during his absence. Chaplin had been invited so that Hearst could observe his comportment with Marion. Man, why are they using all these words in here? I'm just saying. Chaplin may have had some qualms about going, but decided to put up a good show. He left his pregnant fiancée, Lita, behind. It is believed that during the birthday party, Hearst noticed that Marion and Charlie had slipped off together and were later discovered by Hearst in flagrante on the lower deck. In her famous stutter, Marion let out a prophetic scream, "Murder!" And that was in quotes, which brought the other guests running as Hearst ran for his revolver. In the ensuing confusion, Ince, not Chaplin, dropped a bullet in his brain. Ince's funeral was held in Hollywood on November 21st, attended by his family, Marion Davies, Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, and Harold Lloyd. Hearst was conspicuously absent. The body was immediately cremated. It is notable that no official inquest into the death of Tom Ince had been held. Oh, wow. With the quote-unquote evidence in ashes, Hearst thought he had the grisly situation well in hand. He hadn't counted on the Hollywood rumor mill. In spite of the fact that everyone on board, the Oneida, guests and crew alike, had been sworn to secrecy, persistent rumors linked Ince's death with Hearst. Was this another case of a rich man getting away with murder? The rumors finally prompted San Diego's District Attorney Chester Kemply, K-E-M-P-L-Y, to call for an investigation. Strangely, of all the guests and crew on board the Oneida, only Dr. Daniel Carson Goodman, who was Hearst's employee, was called to testify. This is his story. On Saturday, November 15th, I took the Oneida, which belongs to International Film Corporation, with the party on board, to San Diego. Mr. Ince was to have been one of the party. He was unable to leave Saturday, stating that he had to work, but would join us Sunday morning. When he arrived on board, he complained of nothing but being tired. Ince discussed during the day details of his agreement just made with International Film Corporation to produce pictures in combination. Ince seemed well. He ate a hearty dinner, retired early. Next morning, he and I arose early before any of the other guests to return to Los Angeles. Ince complained that during the night he had had an attack of indigestion and still felt bad. On the way to the station, he complained of a pain in the heart. We boarded the train, but at Del Mar, a heart attack came upon him. I thought it was best to take him off the train, insist upon his resting in a hotel. I telephoned Mrs. Ince that her husband was not feeling well. I called in a physician and remained myself until the afternoon, when I continued on to Los Angeles. Mr. Ince told me that he had had similar attacks before, but that they had not amounted to anything. Mr. Ince gave no evidence of having had any liquor of any kind. My knowledge as a physician enabled me to diagnose the case as one of acute indigestion. The San Diego DA then dismissed the case with these words: I began this investigation because of many rumors brought to my office regarding the case. Okay, here are the pictures of it. An enduring affair, Marion under Hearst's watchful eye. That is this one. And then here is what looks like a picture of Marion. I would assume that that's her. Yeah, Marion, sincerely Marion Davies. That's what it says. I don't know why that's showing up blue, but it is. And had considered them until today in order to definitely, no, it's definitely, I was going to say definitively, but there's no B in there, dispose of them. There will be no further investigation of stories of drinking on board the yacht. If there are to be, then they will have to be in Los Angeles County, where presumably the liquor was secured. People interested in Ince's sudden death have continued to come to me with persistent reports, and in order to satisfy them, I did conduct an investigation. But after questioning the doctor and nurse who attended Mr. Ince at Del Mar, I am satisfied his death was from ordinary causes. This dismissal left an editorialist of the Long Beach News dissatisfied. At the risk of losing something of a reputation as a prophet, the writer will predict that someday one of the scandal-scented mysteries in filmdom will be cleared up. Motion picture circles have suffered alike from scandal and rumors of scandal. Deaths from violence or mysterious sources have been hinted at, but never proved. If there is any foundation for the suspicioning, suspicioning, that Thomas Ince's death was from other than natural causes, an investigation should be made in justice to the public as well as to those concerned. If there was liquor aboard a millionaire's yacht in San Diego Harbor where Ince was taken ill, it should be investigated. A district attorney who passes up the matter because he sees quote-unquote no reason to investigate is the best agent Bolshevists could employ in this country. It was understood that District Attorney Kempley's investigation was to establish what actually occurred at the party directly preceding the director's death. The probe halted before any members of the party had even been questioned. Some thought it no coincidence that Luella Parsons was awarded a lifetime contract with Hearst soon after this incident, with her syndication expanded. It was rumored she had seen it all. Luella soon felt obliged to do a little covering up of her own and claimed she had been in New York at the time. The only inconvenience was that Marion's stand-in, Vera Burnett, clearly recalled seeing Luella with Davies and Chaplin at the studio before their departure, ready for departure. Open parentheses, Vera valued her job and decided not to insist upon it, close parentheses. The Hearst-Davies diarchy, D-I-A-R-C-H-Y, rode out the scandal unscathed, but as D.W. Griffith remarked in later years, end quotes, all you have to do to make Hearst turn white as a ghost is mention Ince's name. Wow, there's plenty wrong there, but Hearst is too big to touch, end quote. It was known throughout the film colony that the mention of Ince's name within Hearst's hearing would nix future invitations to the Santa Monica Beach House or the San Simeon, S-I-M-E-O-N Castle. I was just thinking, what a scandal that must have been back then. Like, my gosh. Like, would that have been as big as the Charlie Kirk assassination right now? Or would that have been as big as, like, the JFK assassination? I mean, it sounds like it would have been, like, really big. Anyway, and their La Fear, how do you say that? It's L apostrophe Affaire remains today. Still shrouded in mystery, still subject to speculation, a perverse footnote concerning Ince became known to the film colony when his widow put his home up for sale after her husband's death. This was the enormous Spanish-style mansion, Diez Doradas, Doradas, in Benedict Canyon, which Ince had designed himself, a showplace where the Golden people delighted to spend frolicsome weekends. The charged circle ignored one naughty feature, a secret gallery above the guest rooms provided with concealed peepholes, revealing a fine view of each bed. Holy mackerel. Some of Hollywood's most celebrated couples had thus repaid their host's bounty by a gracious demonstration of their boudoir techniques. Only Peeping Tom Ince had the key to the concealed passageway. Hearst discreetly provided Ince's widow, Nell, with a trust fund. The Depression wiped out the fund, and Nell finished her days as a taxi driver. Wow. And Hearst, the entire affair was reduced to a sardonic, S-A-R-D-O-N-I-C joke in the film colony. The Oneida became known as, quote-unquote, William Randolph's hearse. Oh my gosh. I wonder. Okay. So I'm thinking it's like the Epstein thing, right? So all of that that's entailed, like with that, like all the secrecy, all of the scandal, all the what, like however you want to do it, because I think that guy shot him in the head because he was fixing to like get out of it. He was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. And he was like, there's only one way out, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, good Lord. Marion and Willie, this is. I don't know why that's showing up blue. Let's hold it back here, I guess. It's really weird. Rudy's rep, and this picture says Valentino on the set of Blood and Sand, evident virility. Hold it. Oh, it's gonna be blue, but it doesn't look blue. That's just really weird. It's like one of those internet things, and it wasn't doing that before, but it's doing it now. The next flood of scandalous rumors to hit Hollywood had a similar mortuary overtone. The occasion was the death of the screen's quote-unquote great lover Rudolph Valentino on August 23rd, 1926 at 10 minutes after noon in New York's Polyclinic Hospital. The official cause of death was stated to be peritonitis following an operation for an inflamed appendix, but rumor attributed his death to an quote-unquote arsenic revenge by a well-known New York society woman whom he dropped after a brief affair. While in the city on a personal appearance tour to promote his last film, The Son of the Sheik, other rumors affirmed Rudy had been shot by an irate husband, or that the star was syphilitic and died when the disease struck the brain. During the last years of his life, the dream lover of millions of women had been the butt of a number of unkind attacks in the nation's newspapers, ranging from sneers at his testimonials for Valvoline face cream to remarks that cast a doubt on his virility. The unkindness cut of all came from an editorial writer for the Chicago Tribune who chose the moment of Rudy's personal appearance in that city to issue a broadside. The July 18th, 1926 editorial of, in quotes, the world's greatest newspaper, gouged Valentino in no uncertain terms. Pink powder puffs. A new public ballroom was opened on the north side a few days ago, a truly handsome place, and apparently well run. The pleasant impression lasts until one steps into the men's washroom and finds there on the wall a contraption of glass tubes and levers, and a slot for the insertion of a coin. What? The glass tubes contain a fluffy pink solid, and beneath them one reads an amazing legend which runs something like this, in quotes, insert coin, hold personal puff beneath the tube, then pull lever, end quote. A powder vending machine in a men's washroom. Homo Americanus. Why didn't someone quietly drown Rudolph Guglielmo, Guglielmo, alias Valentino, years ago? And was the pink powder machine pulled from the wall and ignored? It was not. It was used. We personally saw two quote-unquote men As young lady contributors to the voice of the people won't, WONT, but there's no apostrophe. It literally reads like this. As young lady contributors to the voice of the people are wont to describe, or want, no, because that, I don't know. To describe the breed, step up, insert coin, hold handkerchief beneath the spout, pull the lever, then take the pretty pink stuff and pat it on their cheeks in front of the mirror. Another member of this department, one of the most benevolent men on earth, burst raging into the office the other day because he had seen a young quote-unquote man combing his pomaded hair in the elevator, but we claim our powder pink story beats his all hollow. And the way they spoke back then. It is time for a matriarchy if the male of the species allows such things to persist. Better a rule by masculine women than an effeminate man. Effeminate men. Man began to slip, we are beginning to believe, when he discarded the straight razor for the safety pattern. We shall not be surprised when we hear that the safety razor has given way to the depilatory, DEPILATORY. Who or what is to blame is what puzzles me. Is this degeneration into effeminacy, effeminacy, a cognate reaction? Oh, I skipped a picture. I reckon this is the man in question. Okay, so this is Rudy. Looks super young. Reaction with pacifism to the virilities and realities of the war. A pink powder and parlor pinks in any way related? How does one reconcile masculine cosmetics, chic's floppy pants, and slave bracelets with a disregard for law and an aptitude for crime more in keeping with the frontier of half a century ago than a 20th century metropolis? Do women like the type of quote-unquote man who pats pink powder on his face in a public washroom and arranges his coiffure, COIFFURE, in a public elevator? Do women at heart belong to the Wilsonian, WILSONIAN era of, in quotes, I didn't raise my boy to be a soldier, end quote? What has become of the old quote-unquote caveman line? It is a strange social phenomena and one that is running its course not only here in America, but in Europe as well. Chicago may have its powder puffs. London has its dancing men. In Paris, its gigolos. Down with Decatur, up with Eleanor Glenn. Hollywood is the national school of masculinity. Rudy, the beautiful gardener's boy, is the prototype of the American male. Hell's bells, oh sugar. Rudy hardly thought it sporting he should be blamed for the mannerisms of a bunch of young Clark Street, the F word, like maggots, and furiously challenged the Tribune hatchet man to duel or even a fist fight. This and similar attacks found their origin in Valentino's well-known taste for sartorial extravagance, his famous slave bracelet, without which he, this says Rudy and Nazamovia and Camille, lesbian marriage broker. This is Rudy and Natasha. Reminds me of the lady who played, she makes me think of the lady who played, what's her face in Star Wars, Princess Leia. This says Pola Negri, dramatic grief, phony, fascist, real corpse, Rudy lies in state. Okay, that's the other page. I'll show you that before I end it. And this is Rudy's casket. I don't know what that hand movement is that guy's doing. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Don't go hang again. You in a good shot. Tell me again. Love you, mean it.